I had a full-time job at the School of Health Information Sciences, and I was living in Houston, and I just wasn't really fulfilled in my inside. My soul wasn't fulfilled for some reason. I was making good money, had education, everything. So I came to Austin and discovered all this beauty, and I just loved it here. And then after nearly, I would say, 7 months or so, I discovered Barton Springs. My early visions of attending Barton Springs was pretty blissful and pretty silent because I was entering a very, very sacred place for my life. Once I jumped in that water, I couldn't believe it. I felt like I was refreshed. No matter what was in my mind, no matter what I was thinking about, completely dissipated immediately as soon as I jumped in, just like rebooting of my system. My name is Omid Aski Larijani, and my last name has like the zip code and address to it because the people where my dad comes from, they called Ask. Being from them is Aski, from the mountain ranges of close to the Caspian Sea, Larijan, and being from there is Larijani. I'm from Iran, and I been moving since I was one, here and there, gypsy style, with my parents and my sister. Barton Springs for me is an elder with really clear eyes because that eye has been open for a long time and flowing, clean, reflecting the stars, moon, the sky, people. It's seen a lot. And so it's my school, my university, my hospital. It's my first home by far, and I go there year round. I've discovered connecting my heart to the land. That's the true native person. Connecting their eyes and their senses to the land and seeing it like their own flesh, and telling stories with it and finding the medicines and sharing it with the whole community. That's a native person. My art, music, dancing is the way I connect my heart and soul to the land and feel her as one. When I came to Austin, I was, I think, 27 years old, and after a little while of living here, I was given this instrument called didgeridoo, which really allowed me to self-express. And I fell in love with it, and I found the love of the sound was so amazing and so magnetic that it took me to the source. When I went to Northern Territory, Australia with my Yolngu people, the Aboriginal people there, they never ever sit down in a classroom setting to teach you things. They just do it. Like people learn by doing. So I would walk by and my Aboriginal sister was doing a painting. I'm like, oh, that's the big greenback turtle. What are the lines around that? Oh, that's the food for the turtle. I'm like, how do you know? Did you go snorkeling in there? How do you know? She says, we just know, and we know the patterns, we paint them. So it struck my interest to do art. When I came back, I discovered that art is the language of nature. It's the language of nature because the art, painting, or drawing is the eye language. Music is the ear language to the land because it's vibration. The dancing is both together, And so uniting the school of thought of creativity, painting, song, dancing, if you pay attention to rhythm of patterns of nature, of your local land, you'll get freedom. And the art is connected, the threads of my art connected to the land. I have a posse behind me of my elders pointing me to my freedom. And this is the gift of the Springs. The Springs is a mirror. It's attractive. It brings people to see themselves. And so doctors come there, masseuses come there, acupuncturists come there, musicians come there, artists come there, filmmakers come there. All the schools of thought come there. Their musicians come and play music. Your soul is out of whack. Go jump in the water, jump out. Someone is playing music for you. People come and bring their innovative stories there. It's my first home. It's where everyone congregates. It's the university, and I treat it like that because people come to share openly. I mean, I could live there every day, and people have lived there in the past. The Tonkawas, the Indians, missionaries, they've lived there. The springs are sacred, and it is telling us if how we're living is clean. Because if we're not clean, the water is going to tell us we're not clean. And what's life without water? You're going to drink dirty water? No. That water is fresh, clean. And that enough. This is no brainer. The ways of the land is not so brainy. It's heartful. That's why it's rhythmic. Just like your heart has rhythm. If I play you patterns of the water and I play through my instruments, my heart will move to that rhythm. I'm getting and connecting to it like one. Nevertheless, for me, the Springs again is the most valuable place I have ever been in my life, and it's why I live in Austin. If that Springs one day goes dry or polluted, is a day that I'll have to leave because that's the heart of the city. It's the soul of the city.